Well, good day, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your SPDR-ETF stock market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for the evening of Tuesday, July 2nd, 2025. Well, they are still at it in the House of Representatives trying to get a preliminary set of votes done so they can figure out, do they have enough votes to go for the vote? They might be there all night long. This is probably the longest prelim I think I've ever seen. It's over 7 hours, so it's got to be close to that. We will see what happens. And these are the type of procedures. Now, remember, any change that has to be made, and if it is made, the whole thing's done. Then you got to send it on to the Senate. They got to come back. They got to debate it again. They'll probably create a committee and try to go. So the real horse trading is done outside of that. That's why the president's here. He meets. He makes promises. He sees what he can give you down the road in a different way, maybe for your constituency. It's the horse trade game that is going on right now. Any way it goes, I believe we will get a deal. I don't say it's a good deal. I don't like that we're going to keep increasing our deficit, and we're gambling. The big gamble is that you will see growth that overcomes that deficit. That's what the president is banking on, and that's why there's no backing off on that 10% tariff. Vietnam did a deal today for 20% on Vietnamese goods that come to the U.S., but if they get goods from another country, such as China, and they are basically the shipper, maybe they touch it, do whatever, and it comes to America, 40% tariff. I understand India is next up on the line. So we will see. It feels like the draft. Next up, who's going to pick this one? And basically, that's what the president is doing. I feel like he's the NBA, the head of the NBA, calling out who they're going to do deals with. But he says he'll still have deals done by the 9th, and he said there's more than 10 that they were talking about. We'll see. I want to remind you that this is July 4th. The markets are closed on Friday. We'll be here tomorrow with you. 40% off any of my research. So, SPDR-ETF people, come on, join in. This supports this station. How do you think we do this? All right, that is why we're doing it. For 1 year, you're basically $95, not quite $8 a month. You're going to get, on average, 6 videos a week, where I say, buy here, sell there, look at this special situation, and we track everything. So from the time I say put on a trade till it comes off, win, lose, draw, partials, and we do partials. I'll say, let's assume you're a 100-share trader, take off 25%. Take this off, add back, so on. So we're moving that way in the market. Give it a try. $95. Any of the courses, if you like what I do here and you want to learn how to do it, 40% off. It's a $600 course, $120 course. And you get the charting software, you get the videos that work with it, and you get access when you have the course to all my morning videos. All right, so give it a try, IraEpstein.com, either under courses or research, pretty simple. So now we go one more step to what's going to be tomorrow. And tomorrow what you're going to have is the non-farm payrolls. Now you saw a big crash in the ADP number. They were looking for 100,000 jobs. They got negative 33,000. So that is not very good at all. It doesn't match up with the JOLTS number the day before that went up 400,000 more jobs being offered. So I don't know that I'm in line with that. You know, could they be right? Of course, but I'm not buying it. It didn't match up with Challenger Gray, which saw a 50% decline in planned corporate layoffs. So we'll see. But you're going to get that number at 7:30 in the morning. Let's see what it comes out at. U.S. May trade balance data. And by the way, in my report tonight, I give all the what-if scenarios. In other words, what's the market looking for? What are they looking for in unemployment? All the other numbers. I don't do it here. I want you to be a subscriber and see that. S&P Global Group released their final June service sector PMI at 845. Then we're going to get out of the Institute of Supply Management, the ISM, their service sector index number at 9, factory order data at 9, and later the natural gas numbers. You saw today the Tesla came in and 3,000 less American cars delivered, stock up $15. You go figure it out. I guess the market looked at it, wasn't as bad as it could have been. And that's one of the things that you always look at. So maybe at this point, what we should do is go right to the charts and see what we've got. Uber down 8 cents. Uranium, another 29-cent gain, not bad. Meta was down $5. Microsoft, which has been on an absolute tear to the upside, 96 cents down. Apple was up $4. You know, they've gotten a big play off of saying, you know, if they can't do it themselves with Siri right now, they'll partner with somebody. They realize the need that their products are like Tesla, old in the tooth. They got to do something. Netflix, down again. So that 1350 area, a little rich. I don't think you're going very far on the downside here. Amazon, we got Prime Day coming. We'll see where it's at. And BND, want to be cautious here. They don't stop with Carvana because car tariffs are going to be there. All right. We saw Vietnam getting 20% tariff. Japan being threatened right now that the president doesn't like the way they're negotiating. There's a big vote in Japan on July 20th. Shiba's got to be careful of what he does. So he's not going to get anywhere with the president. So you're going to end up with an effective 35% tariff on autos, a 10% minimum. There you're going to go up to, I think, this is my guess, 24, 25%. What about steel and aluminum? They got a problem with that too. And most of the stock indices up. Now, I was explaining this morning in detail, as best as I could, you have the golden cross trade take place in the S&P, and it's when the 50-day average gets over the 200, and the market took off with it again today. So not bad. It's up. By the way, early evening trade, the futures are higher. So when we look at Starbucks, I see consolidation here. If the market clears these highs, you could be on your move to something else. Take a look when you come here. The chart looks different the moment you put a swing line on. Let me bring it back here. That's without the swing line. The moment you put the swing line on, you get a clearer picture. You have a pattern of a lower low and a higher high. You've already cleared that high. You're into the resistance of these two moving averages. The next step on the resistance is right with you. So this is a rough area. It's staying over the first challenge of a 200-day average and 100 since back in April meets resistance. Could it just clear it? It could. If it does meaningfully, then that becomes support. But I think it's got some problems right here. And I was looking for it, and that's why I started covering this, because I think that you've seen an important low in Starbucks, and I think bright skies are ahead for it. You are not overbought. You're into resistance, but you're not really trending. The bias is up, but you don't have that pattern of higher lows, higher highs. In the MP Materials Corp, rare earths, notice how it came to the 18-day average. It is just sort of running out of air here. When you lost the embedded reading right over here, that's that enhanced Bollinger Band course. It was all the way up here. I said you can't be long anymore. It's probably going to the 18-day average unless it clears the highest high that it just had. It didn't do that. Then we look at Dash. You're losing the bullish embedded reading. In fact, LOST, it's lost on the close. Now, the only time you can get it back is the next day. We'll see if it does it. But if you were sitting next to me, you'd get an elbow in the ribs, and I'd say, why are you holding on to Dash? This is where you got to come out. The market's likely to go wherever the 18-day average is, and that's over $10 lower. And you'll say, well, I don't want to give it up. I said, well, then put a stop and buy it back over 248.70. You'll go, no, I'm just going to hold it. Okay. But that's what I'd be telling you. In Google, you have a market that's come up to the resistance point of the 80 level. It is holding. It's today created a bullish trend again with higher lows, higher highs, but it's overbought. So as much as I love Google, I think it's got a little more work to do. And should the market get under 173.53 and close under that, you could get an all-out sell signal that says you're coming back down here. So a lot of caution in this particular chart. Netflix, I hope, light some candles. I'd like to see it get back into the 1254 area. That could be an interesting spot to begin an accumulation, maybe down to the 1200 level again. So a door is opening if it continues to drop. Robinhood, I would not reach for anything 3 days over a Bollinger Band. It's got the embedded reading. It's been on an absolute tear to the upside. Just remember this. This was a market that was at 40 just recently. you've got to be paying up there. I'm not saying it's not going to 150. I'll step back and let the other people want to own that. Tesla, as I said, you got to bounce, but was I surprised? Not at all. Why? You're already at the 100-day average. It stopped at the 200. It's still in a downtrend. It's oversold. I'll let other people want to own it. It's not on that chart, just as a chart, it's not a buy. In stocks, still with the embedded reading. Remember, when you have the embedded reading, it overrides everything. It's not, should I be a buyer? Yes, you should on questions. And as the market's pulling down here, it's coming up, and the Bollinger Band should be the resistance. I am not saying you should buy. I'm saying as a chart technician, that's how it works, all right? So all your signals are, I should be a buyer. Where? Well, I teach that in the course. In XLF, overbought. This is the Gorilla Glue trade where every day you keep hitting the upper Bollinger Band, just driving the market even further along. Same thing is going on with the industrials, the XLI, but it is overbought. I'll let somebody else want to own that against that number. XLE negated the downtrend today. So finally, this market has run out. It did, in the end, find its support against the 18-day average. I have not said it's turned into a buy. It's turned into don't be short for the moment. In the gold market, as of the close, I had a signal that said the pros went long. Their stop would be right under today's low of 306.96, targeting maybe the 315 area. Interesting, outside day up. Do you know how to work with them? Get the course. SLV, higher lows, but lower highs, or is it higher highs? It's higher lows, higher highs. Silver's still in the bull camp, but it's narrowing in these bands, as I said yesterday, and I'm going to repeat it. Don't look for it to run away here as the bands are collapsing in the market. They're coming up on the bottom, they're coming down on the top. So the market wants to do more sideways work. What did I tell you about copper for 3 weeks running now? And you can see the end result there. BND. Big time support in this market, all from the 200-day average in gray, the 18-day average, 72.95 in red, 72.83 in green. That is your big support. You lost the bullish embedded reading. The odds favor the market to go there, but I don't know what the jobs report impact will be. In the dollar, I remain fully in the bear camp. When it's time to come out, we'll see it in the charts. It's not yet. Still down, and new lows are being made in the market, while the euro is on the verge of possibly going for higher highs at this point. So we'll want to see what that does. You put it all together, you get a game plan, and I got the simplest one for you. Support this channel. I know a lot of you like it. You look at it. Take one of the subscriptions, 40% off for a year, and thank you. I'm going to be doing webinars soon, and I might limit them to only paid subscribers. So it won't be for the general public. Your subscription gets you in on that. I'm Ira. You have yourself a great day. I will talk to you all at the, let's see, what'll that be? The 8 a.m. update in the morning when we do the morning flash update. Look at the other videos tonight, too. Take care. Have a great evening.